Hey everybody, this is Tony here, our cabin of woods. I'm editing the video, started editing the video for my wife's Blazer, what I did to it. And the very first video, the very first one, I was telling you what was wrong with the car and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And after about 15 seconds, the screen went to a bunch of static. You can see me, and it was just no good. And I didn't know that until I'm done with the job and everything I'm going through it to go do the video, and that's not right. So I'm going to tell you what was wrong with the car. I'm done with it, basically. I'm waiting on some trim pieces, new ones, and we are done. I've already started it. It's fixed. It's working. But back to this. What was wrong with it? She had no air, heat or cold to the floor. No heat at all. And I believe that, I was thinking it was probably part of that heater door system, and it wasn't. I think the heater door was plugged up because you can try to blow through it and you can't get much out of it at all. Usually you can blow and push the water out of it. So that's why I took the car apart. I'm going to tell you what I took apart to the point where this video is going to take over. And this is what we've got. I had to take out both speakers, that one there and that one way over there. I had to take out that center trim. This stuff is brittle, guys. It is brittle because you have a screw there. You have a screw there, that center screw. You have a screw over there also. Okay, those you got to get out. Glove box comes out. You have a bolt that's back in that back corner, and you're going to have all this extra wiring and different things. You may see that in the next video, all that. I'm going to give you a helpful hint up front early, because I do say it at the end of the video, that this dash bezel has to come off, okay? And it has to come off. And if you don't do what I'm going to tell you now, and like I said it at the end of the video, I don't want you knowing it too late. I'm going to tell you now. Drop your steering column down, let it fall down. You have to take out this knee pad anyway. All this has to come out no matter what. All the under panels have to come out. What we're doing is we're going to pull the dashboard out, so you know that. This piece here, this knee shield has to come off. There's two 10mm bolt nuts there. There's two on the other side. Then this whole piece comes down. Boom, it's heavy. Okay, and then there's two 15mm, one here and one on the other side of the steering column, that's connected to the steering column. And when you take them out, the steering wheel will fall and hit the seat. You got to push it down, or it goes down to the seat. So now what that does is, one more thing, take your key, put it in there, put your shifter down. So what's going to happen is this is going to allow you to pull that whole dash instrument cluster bezel off solid. You go do this. It's going to allow you to take that whole instrument dash bezel off like this. If you don't do that, even if you put your key in, turn this, and put your shifter down, you're actually going to pull each side, and you're bending it in the center, and it breaks it apart. So this has to come down anyway. So that's what I'm trying to tell you now, very early. Drop the steering column down. It's simple, not a big deal. Drop her down, then you can just take that whole dash bezel, pull it out, disconnect your electricals that you got to do. There's your wipers, and you got headlight switches over here. Disconnect them, pull that all out as one, and you're good. You're golden. This thing's broken all apart before, and they're over $250 right now for a used one. Another thing that you have to take out is your center console. You have a bolt right there, a nut there. You're going to have two back here. That's inside your console. Take out the rubber bottom, and you'll see that. Once those three are out, then this thing slides right on out. So, that should put us up to date what's going on. And I may repeat, I'll try to catch it, about this dash bezel deal at the end. But do it now and save yourself a lot. You're not going to cheat it. I guarantee you're not going to cheat it. You're going to break it. So, I think that's it. We're going to go in and download this and continue the video. See you later. Stand by. Alright, I'm back on the wife's truck. Last thing you see me do is I pulled out this whole center piece. That's all out. I took out that hush panel where your knee goes, knee brace goes. I took the glove box out. There is, later when we get done, I'm going to put a light on this bolt. Hopefully you can see it straight back, right back in that area. There's a bolt. Looks like 7/16. That will come out. There's another one. That's right there. That will come out. What we've got is, here's your speaker grills. That one. And that speaker grill over there. And that vent cover. All has to come out. Be very gentle. They're cheap plastic. They will break apart. Look at the dashboard. I cracked the dashboard all up just getting that piece of plastic out. So, I believe there's going to be a massive connector way back there. Hopefully I'm putting my light on it. I'll show you when I get to that point. I believe that has to come off. Alright, let me get this stuff all apart and done, and then I'll turn the camera back on. Alright guys, this happened really fast. Back up again. Where the speaker covers were on top, that long groove trim that went across there. The other speaker cover, that one bolt I told you that was right there, and the other one bolt that was right there. You went and did these. You took that bolt loose and you took that bolt loose. The dashboard literally falls back. It rotates. It has a pin in this piece here. It falls on. And I'll show you that here in a second. I'll take it over there to the dashboard. Another thing, if you want to take this all out like I did, you need to take the radio out only for one big reason. Your antenna wire right here, you cannot get to that wire from behind the dashboard. It goes among some duct work in there, and you cannot get to it. So you got to take the radio out, disconnect it, pull that out of the way. That big long connector you see right there, and you can see it has like a little connector. Disconnect that. That's inside the dashboard. Disconnect that, push the wire through, and then the whole dashboard falls out. Okay, you remember a minute ago I pointed to that, had like a sticking straight out. It sits on here, and here's where the other piece rides on. It kind of tilts. You actually set it in there, and you'll roll it back, and it falls right in the spot. That's neat. I like that. Ford does not have that. I'm a Ford man, but so far that's the only thing I can say good so far, is that I like how that design is to pull that dash out. Okay, what we got to do is we got to get this heater case out. I got everything I needed disconnected, so the case is disconnected from wiring harness, vacuum lines that would hold it inside the body. Now what we got to do is from out here, we've got to take out, there's a couple of bolts that are hidden. We got one right here that's not a hidden bolt, but it is right there, my light's on it. That's a nut. You need to take that nut off, okay? And then there are two. If you had a lift, car lift, working in a shop, you can get to these bolts from underneath. I'm gonna have to take the tire off on the right side and come in through there, but there's gonna be two bolts that's down there, and there's also a bolt that's hidden inside this case. And I can't stretch, I'm looking at the camera. There should be right down right there a bolt hole already missing, a bolt missing. I already took that out. You use a swivel socket, 10mm on a 1/4" drive, and take that on out. So it's inside. This is where that blower motor resistor would be. You take that out, and actually this case, as you can see, it says cut here. This case was all molded. You had to cut the case top off, and then that revealed the blower motor resistor. Take the 3 screws that hold that out, take that out, and then there is the, right down there's a bolt that's not in there. That's where the bolt goes to the dashboard. And like I said, it was a swivel socket, 1/4" drive, 10mm, and that's how I put it in there. And I have a magnetic 1/4" drive, so I'll be able to put it in and out real quick. And now I'm going to go ahead and get going with the rest of these. Like I said, that also heater core lines will have to come off. All right, I'm going to try. This is going to be hard to do. The number 2 stud you got to worry about, and I don't know if my camera can go in here. because of the way my lens, yeah, there we go. You should be able to see another, I can't flip it. Oh, wait a minute, there we go. There should be another stud. I can't see if I'm pointing at it, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think the light's on the stud right now. That right there, 10mm nut has to come off. There's no way I can show you how to take out that bolt. I mean, I know everybody can figure that out themselves. So I'm going to take this bolt out, and then we'll go up top again. All right, if you notice, these don't have hose clamps. These are spring clamps, okay? You have to squeeze them to move them around. And I actually have a pair of pliers. You see that groove that's in the end of there? That's what I use to put on here. You squeeze the pliers and you can move them. Now, yes, you can use regular pliers. There's no doubt about it. But sometimes that extra hole that's cut in there, it's on both sides. It grabs it a lot better and it works great. And I need to get those two hoses off. Okay, something I'll show you. I have my hose clamp tool on one of the hoses. I have two of these. I can't find my blue handle ones. They're missing. So I use my large vice grips. And what I'm doing is crimping off each one of the heater hoses. That way, when you pull the heater hose off, you don't dump a whole bunch of fluid. Whatever fluid you're going to lose is right within that hose that you see right there. Now, one big suggestion before you pull any heater hoses off, always take your radiator cap off, do that, put it back on, because if it's under pressure, when you pull that hose off, you're going to get splattered with coolant. Now, this way, you've taken the cap off, you put it back on. When you pull that hose off, if it starts to leak out, pour out for some reason, it'll cause a suction, so it slows the dump of the fluid coming out. So I've already turned those hoses, they're ready to come off, and let's pull each hose off, and so we get the heater, we can get this heater case coming out. There's one. There's two. Alright guys, I did my searching and I did forget there is a bolt down here too. It's going to be hard for me to get you that bolt. Looking at it, I'm going to try to. I think you see it right there. That's it. There we go. We pull it out of there, and here's the case. Okay, I got the case out. Here we are. Now I do want to show you. There was two more bolts that had to come out. I just plain forgot about them all. The bolts are actually, hold on here, my leg's extended. That one bolt that's right there, and there's actually another one that's back behind that dipstick, right back there. You can see the shiny part. So that one and that one also attached to the case, which I imagine they attached to here. Okay, the case is really loose, but I have to be able to get this diaphragm off here because this is connected to this case. So, okay, I got it off. All right, this piece right here, that black piece I'm showing, this slides up and inside underneath this. It goes underneath. You push down that prong and then that pulls off. Now what we need to do is take this completely off right there. So that's good. I think one of my problems is this broke right here. So everything should start to come out. I think I am clean all the way around to remove it. Looks good. Here we go. We're going to split the case apart. And yes, it is broke. Alright, here's that door I told you I thought was broke. Right there. There it is. This is the heater blend door. And I did see that moving before I pulled it apart. I tested it. And it's not broke or cracked nowhere. I don't see nothing wrong with it. That all looks good. And that just sits right down in here. This is what I had on mine. I had to replace this door, but I went to the bottom. But that's not it. You can see how coolant was dripping, leaking there. And when you get a sweet smell in your vehicle, that's what that usually is that right there. All right, now where this piece connects to is over here. You see that? That's broke. That would sit this end, right? This end right here slides in the back of that hole that you see right there. You can slide that in there, and you can see how it broke. And that's why that was looking flimsy. I knew I had a broken door in here somewhere. See? So, now what we're going to need is a new door for this one. Alright guys, we got to run down. My wife's parts came in for her Blazer. Had them order them up to the Chevy dealer. Local parts stores and all that didn't carry it. They carried the blend door, but they didn't carry the floor door. I think they call that a mod door. I think she's ready to go. Ready? You ready to go, Willow? What do you think? Huh? Are you ready? Yeah? Alright, Willow and I are going to get going. And are you excited? Alright guys, I'm back here starting on this heater case for my wife's Blazer, and the ones that I showed you before, the doors that were broken, this was the door that was originally broken. This door I replaced because the door that I took out had a bow to it, and it had the bow the same way that had a bow, so I was worried about that end breaking off. This is the end that broke off. It's in here. This piece slides off. Alright, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, if you're going to be able to tell, but this spot right here is tapered. Let's see here if I can have a pointer. You can see that this part right here is tapered. Has a taper to it. It tapers from here inward. And then that goes in. Well, these doors, let me show you what this door looks like. These doors fit. They slide in this way, and then they slide in like this, and then this end you have to push down to get in. This one here was kind of the exact same way, but it come from the side. So this one here you had to fish through this way, in which I'm going to use this same board as one. It fishes in this way, so it sticks out like that. Okay, and then this other end has to pop in. What ended up happening is you've got to slide these end pieces on. I don't know if can you see that right there? Inside there, you got to use a little smaller screwdriver. You got a little ledge you got to pry open, and when you pry open, this piece here slides off. You'll be able to grab it and pull it, it comes right off. But anyway, so I put these two new doors in. They're done. This is good shape. That's good shape. My diaphragms are all working. So now what I need to do is work on putting this back together again, and I'll try to bring you along how you do that and get it right. Alright guys, there's one screw that goes right down here, and it's hard to get a screw started because it'll fall in there and never sets in there right, but I'm going to show you a little trick I got. This is what I do. When you have a screw you can't get, that you can't make stay on a nut, what I usually do, you can usually use thick grease if you want to or whatever, but I take a piece of tissue paper, paper towel, I'll push it on this nut, this bolt, and it stays on there. It ain't going nowhere. Now you can take this thing, stick it down in the hole where you need to put it, exactly where it needs to be. And you can tighten her down. There it is. Don't worry about that little piece of paper. Alright, let's try to feed this thing in here. Like I said, we need to get this and this up to here. You just gotta pull the carpet out of the bottom, because that's gonna hit it. There we go. So we gotta lean it backwards. We're gonna push it in some. Push it down so it kind of falls. And you're just gonna keep on shaking it until things fall into spot. I'm pretty close now. I can see it. That went in. Alright, there it goes. Did you all see that? It slid right in there. So, you can see those two are sticking through. I got to put a nut on that. And then once it's more secure, I'll take those pipes, you can move them so that they're not rubbing up against anything, so they're sitting in there. But what you want to do is bolt your case fully to the wall first and make sure, see if anything moves around. So right now, we need to work on getting that one bolt on. Alright, as you can tell, I got that resistor back in. Their plug's back on. All the bolts and screws are back on all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws are back on, bolts, hoses, resistor. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put her tire back on. Man, I had some bad luck here. Trying to put this dash in myself. I had the speed armor head in there. And, okay. Anyway, trying to get this dash in here. And the speed armor head, this is the bottom of it. I just broke it to heck. I mean, you push on it, this plastic crap just breaks everywhere. I tried to set the camera up so you can watch what was going on. I had it set right here. And I started to fish it in, and then I tripped on my own friggin' shoe. Tossed it in here and sat it down, got it set up where I need to set, and just sitting there waiting. And I come over here to mess with this, and I backed up, hit the camera. The camera needed to be bolted to my head to do this. The dashboard is in here. All right. I put that screw in right there. I put that screw in right there. And there's one more way over there on the other side, just like where that is. So now that holds this dash in here securely. Now I need to go through and tighten up that bolt, and then there's some other bracket bolts that go up in here that ties all this really secure in here. We'll have to work on getting our antenna wire routed up in the back here for the radio, because the radio's going to go back. And alright guys, sorry about that. My neighbor came back over again, and we're just talking political stuff. Anyway, back to this. I did install a radio. I got the radio connected all back up. Alright, some of the parts I had to get for my wife's car I broke, which was the speedometer face, the bottom of that. The dashboard hit it, and this is so brittle now, it just crushed it. It's nothing. I mean, it's junk. So I went to a pull apart. I grabbed another face, brought it home. We'll put that on, then we'll install the speedo in the truck, and we'll go from there. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to stick this back in. As you can see right here, there's our plug for that spot, which is right here, up top. And so that's what we got to do. And then there's 4 screws I'll have to put in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 over there, 2 over there. So the safest way to do this is just put the key back in ignition, put the shifter down low, so that way you can slip the speed armor head right in there real easy. So that's what we're going to do. Just slip that in there. I need to plug that in too. Okay, that is plugged in, and now we're just going to slip that on in there into its resting spot. And it actually falls in some pin holders. So that's in there, and then we can just go ahead and put these screws in. Alright, what we've got to do now is we've got this big connector goes back right here. So we need to go ahead and push that in there. We've got that loose too. Let's put that down and out of the way real quick. Let me see this for a minute. Okay. Put that down there. I may be in your way. I'm going to stick that connector. You can hear I'm powering the car back up. I'm going to pull the key out there. And now we're going to, there's a screw in the middle of that, and that's what tightens down that clamp that's in there. Alright, there we go. We're tight. We're all back together right here. Alright guys, good news. It's all working. Defrost, everything's working. The piece I need, the dash piece that's all broke apart, is the dash bezel. It's this whole piece. And I've got to find it. The whole trim, all that. I do have to put the glove box in. I do have to put on the hush panel down here, the knee panel, all that, but I'm not putting none of this stuff back in here until after I get the new dash piece, because it's so brittle. I think I'm going to lower the steering column so that piece slides in nice and easy and doesn't break, you know, become very brittle and break, because this stuff's crappy. This plastic in this thing is terrible. Anyway, so I guess the big thing is I'm going to go ahead and put this glove box back in. I'm not going to put none of this back in until I can find this trim piece, and we'll go from there. But I think where you got this, you don't need to see you put glove boxes in and these center armrest deals in. So we'll call this done, and the wifey poo will be happy. All we're trying to do, we're both worried about what's going on with the country and everything, as everybody. Yes, my wife needs a new car. I agree 100%. It's a 2000 with 350 something thousand miles on it. I don't even know what it is. It's 350 something. Let's take a peek. Motor purrs like a kitten. Let's see. Oh, 359,000. Let's see if I can't zoom in. 359,000 miles, 467. This is her car. Just shy of, just under, let me turn that back. There we go. So, motor and transmission have never, well, transmission never been touched. The motor, we've had to replace the intake gaskets twice. The second time we got the new updated style. They leak coolant, and these are famous. In fact, the V8s and the V6 for, I don't know, 5 years or more are pretty famous for leaking coolant really bad. So I'm done videoing. You don't need to see me put all this stuff back in. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Thanks for following my channel. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. I need to get this call. Y'all have a great day. Thanks, bye.